So I have been in Sri Lanka for a month now, and it was time to go to Colombo and extend my visa in the immigration's office. It's always a little bit stressful to go there. There's gonna be a lot of people, and whenever you have to do something with the government, it takes a little bit of extra time, and you don't really always know if everything is gonna go according to plan. There was another Canadian guy staying at the hostel, Rob, so we decided to go on a Monday. The weather has been a little bit up and down lately, last couple of 2 weeks. It's been quite windy and it's been raining quite a lot. But today wasn't too bad. We took a tuk-tuk from Negombo Beach into the bus station in Negombo, and when we arrived there was a big queue for the bus, so I thought we were gonna be there for ages, but it went quite smooth. They filled up one bus, and then when the bus was full, just the next one behind it just came and took their spot, and they just started filling that bus instead. So even though there was a big queue, it went quite fast. I think maybe we stood in queue for 15 minutes, maybe tops. And we decided to go with the AC bus. It was 150 rupees. The seats were quite small if you're tall, so my knees were hurting quite a bit after a while. But it was only I think 30-45 minutes bus ride into Colombo from Negombo. And as you can see, they always filled the bus to the maximum before it went. This bus takes the highway to Negombo, and I believe it's a private bus, a private company that drives the bus, so it's not the local ones, because the local ones I heard is all the red ones. Well, inside Colombo city, the traffic on a Monday was quite hectic. There's not a lot of people actually living in Colombo. Most of the people, they come there during the weeks to go to work, and then in the weekends they go back home. So just Mondays and Fridays are extra hectic when it comes to traffic, because everybody goes there on a Monday and then leaves then on a Friday. And just as we arrived in Colombo, it started to rain. But we found a tuk-tuk, and we headed off to Battaramulla to try to find out where the immigration office was. It was about a 30 minutes tuk-tuk drive from the bus station to Battaramulla immigration's office. And as always, the traffic in these Asian countries, you have your own rules, you make up your own rules, and you just drive from gut feeling. And the traffic to this day was crazy. As you can see, there's just cars everywhere going in every single direction. But in the chaos, there's a kind of structure, and the traffic sometimes comes to a stop, but usually it flows on little by little all the time. So here you can see the immigration's office. I didn't want to film too much inside the building because with the government stuff you never know. You don't wanna risk anything. You don't want them to be mad at you and don't extend your visa. So the first time you extend your visa you get 2 extra months, and then the second time you get 3 extra months, and this time I got 2. After the visa process we went to another music store. Actually the visa went really smooth. There wasn't a lot of people and it took maybe about 2 hours from where we came there until we were done. So Rob, the Canadian guy, he really wanted to buy a guitar, so we went to that first place there, but we just couldn't find anything that was good enough and price worthy. So we instead we decided to have something to eat, and we found this little local place where they served fantastic rice and curry. It was only 190 rupees. Some good spicy chicken, some yellow rice, beans, papadums, and some other toppings. After that we decided to go to the Yamaha music store, but the traffic was just too crazy, so we decided to head back to the bus station and take the bus back home to Colombo. And there's another music store in Colombo. Oh, there's another music store in Negombo that we've been to before, and Rob knew that there was one guitar there that he really liked. So we headed back to Negombo and to that music store instead. The guitars look really good, but the action and the setup is sometimes not so good, so they're really hard to play. Most of them are made in, there were some Koreans, some were made in Indonesia, and also some Chinese ones. We ended up like trying all the guitars and tuning all of them, and I was sitting and playing for maybe 2 hours in this store, and Rob, he tried all the guitars, and then he decided not to buy anything, or he decided to come back the day after if they had a guy to come and set up the guitar, but he went there the day after and still they hadn't fixed it. After a long day of fixing the visa in Colombo, going with the bus ride back and forth, we were quite tired. So it was really nice just to head back home and chill a little bit. It had been raining almost the whole day, but we were mostly inside, so it didn't really matter that much. But it cleared up a little bit in the evening, and we had a pretty nice sunset, and we came home at 6 in the evening, so I still had time to do my evening beach run routine every night. Doesn't matter which day, doesn't matter what kind of weather, I run from one side of the beach to the other one, just barefoot. It takes about half an hour, and on the way back I stop and get some food from a local place, some pasta usually and some bread. And I was just so there was a big... The visa thing is always, even though I've done it so many times, extending my visas, it's always a little bit stressful because you don't know. Sometimes there can be stuff that you don't have, or there's just this paper that's missing, or the picture isn't the right size, or your passport, there's something wrong with your passport, or they see that you have been working somewhere else. And yeah, it felt so good just to have another 2 extra months in Sri Lanka. And next time when I extend it, I'm gonna get another 3 months, and after that I have to leave the country before I can get another visa extension. And if I compare extending my visa here to other countries where I've extended my visas, it was really a really smooth process. You went through that immigration house, walked through all the... Firstly, there were people that were from other countries. They had a special queue, and then we had a special another place where we did our visas. So we walked through the building up to the 3rd floor, and then it was a matter of just getting the papers, filling in the papers, and then you went to a special office where they processed the visa. Then you went to another counter and paid, and then the 3rd counter you sat down and wait for the visa to be in progress, and then they called your number and you were good to go. The visa process took about 2 hours, but now also it's the low season, and with all this stuff that had happened, there's not a lot of tourists, so I can imagine it's not the same thing if you go there in high season in like November when there's a lot of tourists. It probably would take a lot longer time. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoy the guitar playing as well. Thank you so much. See you soon.